Welcome back to Heroic Book Adventures. I'm Steve, and today I have another entry for Indie Author August. So once again, thank you to Kevin and Nicole for hosting this wonderful reading event. So I chose to read The Sunken Door by the Outlaw Levi Wallace, who also happens to be a fellow booktuber. So of course, I'm going to link below to all three of them. So Levi released this in 2024, and if you happen to pick up the paperback copy, it's going to add 9/16 of an inch to the linear footage of your TBR shelf. And the Sunken Door is basically like three sub-stories that weave together and kind of converge towards the end. So the first one follows a group of four teenagers that are friends, and they're going through all the coming of age kinds of things. And one of them eventually discovers this secret door out in a clearing in the ground and kind of becomes obsessed with it. So as events move forward with that, it will strain and test the friendship amongst the four of them. The second story follows a woman named Maria who goes on a date with this guy and ends up waking up strapped down to a table in his personal dungeon. And he's got a blade and he's ready to open her up and eat her organs. So in struggling, she's able to free herself enough that she's actually able to fight back and kills the man. Well, he had a snake tattoo that wraps around his body. And upon his death, the snake left him and jumped into Maria's body. So now she becomes the servant of like this malevolent snake deity. And it wants sacrifices in the forms of her eating organs of living creatures. So then Maria heads out into the world going on a spree of sacrifices. And then the third group we follow is like a watcher cult named the Sons of Tyr that for generations have been watching out for and trying to capture the servants of this snake god. So it's like a race against time to see if they can catch Maria, capture her before she's able to come upon these kids in the story, because she is also attracted to this door. So everything really comes back to this door in the end. What's on the other side of the door? Can anybody get into it? And could anything that's on the other side of it come back through it and enter into our world? So you can see the influences in this story pretty easily, because there's the coming of age kids on bikes portion of the tale. There's Southern Gothic elements in it, and there's a lot of Lovecraftian cosmic horror type stuff. But yet it all still managed to be really unique, one of a kind type of story. And I thought the different story elements blended together really well. Certainly the best part of this book is just the creative storytelling, because a lot of authors, when I've read a little bit from them, I'll kind of mentally give them kind of a ceiling of how good of a book I think they're capable of writing. But I'm not willing to put a ceiling on this author, because I feel like at any point Levi could write another book that's truly superb. It's creative. And from beginning to end, I had fun reading it. Like the entire time I was looking forward to seeing where it was all going to end up going, because not every book does that for me. I mean, we all are different types of readers. So like some people really demand good character development. Some people really like high quality writing style. But for me, above all else, I want to read a damn good story. So as far as the first objective of writing a story that your readers are going to have fun reading, mission accomplished. But I will say that this is a story that I think would have benefited very greatly from professional editing, because there's a lot of like the same word being used over and over again in the same paragraph, and some sentence structure issues, and just general things that you find from less experienced authors. Now, even my most favorite authors, when I go back and read their first few books, like those things are there. So to me, technical issues can be worked on and improved with experience. So it's not as big of a deal to me, but not every author can write a compelling story. But there was also like really cool ideas he introduced that never really went anywhere. You know, by the end, I was looking back and thinking, man, you know, there was this really cool thing here. I kind of wish he had done something with it, and it had more meaning rather than just being left to feel like it had no point being in there. So it felt like there was a lot of missed opportunities in just the story and incorporating the different things, that there was more potential to do more things with those really cool ideas. So although I think the story itself probably deserves a higher ranking, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 overall, which is still a good, fun read for me. But this one was just, it was so close to being just in that upper tier of just really superb books. But there's just some technical issues that I felt held it back and kept it from being there. So if you're somebody that demands highly polished, you know, a writing style, I would just skip this one because, like I said, the technical issues, they're just going to distract you. But if, like myself, you're capable of looking past those things and to enjoy just a good, fun story to read, this one delivered, you know. It was just a good, fun read to go through. So, Levi, cool book, man. And I'm really hoping that you'll write some more for us, because clearly that hard knock you took to the head as a small child, you know, jostled something loose in your brain and really unlocked some cool creative ideas. And to the rest of you snake bitten heroes, go check out the Outlaw Levi Wallace channel. You know, he's a really cool dude. And I will see you on our next coming of age adventure.